guys, what's up? My name is Cece. If you are new here, I do random videos anywhere from like travel to vlogging to like I have some singing videos deep back in the archive of my YouTube channel. So I kind of do some different things here on YouTube, but today's video is gonna be all about my recent woofing experience in Hawaii. I was staying on a horse rescue and like a farm startup on the north shore of Oahu. I loved woofing in Oahu because the bus system is so efficient. It's very easy to get around if you're staying in Oahu. So I highly recommend, if you are going to be woofing in Hawaii, I would consider Oahu just because of the bus system, and you won't like need a car or like you won't need to ask for rides to get around. So that was really nice. So this video is gonna basically be for people that are considering woofing for the first time. You've never woofed before. I've given y'all some of my best advice and things that I wish I knew before going on this trip. But even without like knowing everything, and this was my first time woofing, it was so fun. It was challenging. There were certain times that it was really hard and uncomfortable, but it was just such an amazing experience, and the good certainly outweighed all of like the little uncomfortable things that happened along the way. So without further ado, let's just jump into today's video. Also, if you're noticing that I look a lot different in these next clips, it's because it is now August of 2022. I recorded those previous clips a few months back. My hair was different, so just know I'm recording this intro like 5 months after the fact. Enjoy the video. My first piece of advice for anyone who's thinking about woofing is just do it. If you've been thinking about woofing for like a matter of weeks or a matter of months, I recommend just doing it. If you've been thinking about it for that long, it's probably something that you really want to do, and you're thinking about it for a reason. Woofing is an incredible opportunity to travel to a new place and experience a different culture. It's literally designed for people who want to volunteer on organic farms. So my first piece of advice is stop thinking about it and start planning your trip. Finding a good time in your life to go is very important. You want to make sure that if you are staying for a longer period of time, that you communicate with your current job or employer, that you communicate properly with them and let them know that you will be away. Know the location that you're looking for. Like basically know exactly what it is that you want location wise. I knew before going to Hawaii that I wanted a beachfront property. So that helped me to narrow down the options, because there are thousands of different options. And so knowing exactly what you're looking for location wise or what you would prefer is going to be really helpful in helping you narrow down the options. Also, I just want to make a quick note about the very beginning of the woofing process. When you're creating your account, they're going to ask you a question about insurance or medical insurance, because while you're working on a farm, like there is a chance that you could get hurt. So I would say buy the insurance that they recommend. just in case something happens. If you get bit by a spider or something, or if you fall, like, you just want to have that extra layer of protection set in place so that you can get the care that you need while you're away from home. I don't really remember how much it is, but it's not super expensive. But it's totally up to you, and I would say talk to your family about it before you make that decision, just so that you know like what your medical coverage is and what your insurance is. When you're looking at the different farms on the WWOOF website, make sure that you read the full description, because every farmer will specify like that they're looking for different things. Like every description is going to be a little bit different, but you will see some similarities. Like in every description, there should be a section where they talk about the amount of hours that they want their volunteers to work. Don't set yourself up for burnout by committing to volunteering at a farm when they're asking you to work more hours than you're comfortable working. Make sure that you're comfortable working the amount of hours that the farmer wants you to be working. Just make sure you read the full description thoroughly and that you're comfortable with everything that they say. Communicate with the farmer via FaceTime prior to your trip, prior to booking your trip, prior to even settling on a farm. You want to communicate with that person via FaceTime so that you can get a good feel for who this person is, how they communicate, how they talk, and how they lead, seeing if it's a good fit for you and if you're comfortable with them. And just kind of getting a general sense for who this person is and how they interact with volunteers. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask if there's going to be other woofers. Don't be afraid to ask if there's going to be other females there. Anything that's going to give you confidence in making this decision to move forward with the farm, you're going to want to get answers to all those questions prior to committing to that farm. You don't want to be in a situation where like you're the only volunteer there, and then like if it's a male, if it's a guy who's in charge of the farm or the property and you're the only girl there, if you know ahead of time like that's going to make me uncomfortable, make sure that you ask those questions up front and don't be afraid to get answers for all the different questions that you have. You want to talk to the farmer about where you're going to be sleeping. If you're sleeping in a tent, if you should bring an air mattress. Just make sure that you know what to expect in terms of your living conditions. You want to talk to the farmer about where you're going to be sleeping, if there's going to be other people there. Just get answers to those questions, but definitely talk about the living conditions, because that is going to make a big difference in your experience. Like if you're just sleeping in a tent outside, that's going to be a very different experience from living in like a cabin or a covered area where the rain can't get to you. So know what you're getting yourself into in terms of the weather, where you're going to be sleeping, because if it's raining at night and you're sleeping in a tent, that is going to be uncomfortable. So definitely just try to plan ahead. Nice costume.
We're scaring kids tonight.
What are you, Lindsay?
I'm a lone wolf.
Nice.
Guys, you chose the dumb. Look at the crouch in this motherfucker.
Hey, Cliff.
What's up?
Can you?
No, bro.
So much fatter. It's so big.
Knowing how many other volunteers are going to be there, because you will be working with the volunteers, so just getting comfortable with the other people that are going to be there, understanding that you're going to be working with people that have very different viewpoints as you. So if you're someone that doesn't work well with other people of different beliefs, you just want to, before you plan this trip, you want to know how you work with others and what your preferences are, because knowing yourself and knowing what you want and where you work best is going to be such an asset in taking a farm, because it's really going to make a big difference in the experience that you have. Get a sense of what the transportation is going to be like, if the transportation is provided by the farmer or someone else on the property, or if there's public transportation nearby that you can walk to. Like, we would walk to the bus stop like every day after work and head into town, so it worked out really well. So just knowing what to expect transportation wise, so that you're not feeling like stranded and like not being able to get to town. Like, I feel like that would really bother me if I wanted to like go to a new place and explore a new town and then like not being able to get there, you know, that would be stressful. So make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into with the transportation, and that's something you can talk to the farmer about as well. If you are woofing at a farm that's like you plan on driving, that is going to be a completely different experience than like flying somewhere and then not having a car. So those are going to be two completely different woofing experiences, so you want to weigh the pros and cons of both of those. I would recommend making sure that the farm you're going to be staying at, like, there's access to public transportation, because you don't want to feel like trapped somewhere, especially if you've never been there before. Like, just making sure that you can get around and sightsee and go to like visit different cafes and just like explore the nearby town. It's gonna be a lot more of a fun experience.
So fucking bad, so I've never done it again.
God.
I've been to
Yes.
Alexandria, and I have to say I like this.
So we got picked up.
I left Los Angeles because I got tired of seeing murders and violence.
If you fly somewhere and don't have a car, you're just gonna have to be a little bit more flexible with what your plans are, and what your downtime is gonna be.
So we're getting into this random car right now. Hello.
What's up? YouTube channel and shit. Oh, what's up?
We just got picked up by Hayden.
Hayden right here. Nice to meet y'all.
So now I'm just waiting for the bus. Should be here in like 5 minutes. It's a very touristy area, so things are pretty expensive, but it's still a really fun place to explore. So prior to your woofing experience, you want to obviously make sure that you have some money saved for the trip. You will need to save more money if you're going to be staying for a longer time. So understanding what your habits are financially is going to be a great asset for you. Understanding what things you're going to want to spend your money on, whether it be I want to visit different cafes, I want to go to different restaurants, I want to have a really cool like immersive travel experience where like you want to do different tourist things. Like I was even considering like going on a helicopter at one point, but I didn't because it was like $400. But so it really depends on where you go, but there's gonna be so many cool activities that you can do. And I would say just make sure that you save money so that you can have a full experience while you're there. I would say stick to a budget because it's not a good feeling to like get back home after woofing and be like, oh my god, I have no money. That's what happened to me. I got home and had no money and no job, and I was super stressed out. So my word of advice would be stick to a budget so that you have a good amount of money when you get back home. If you are going to be like looking for a new job or going back to a job that you had before, that's going to be a lot better to go back, like immediately go back to a job you had prior. Because then you can get home and immediately start working and making money again. Whereas if you're coming home from woofing and you don't have another job lined up, you're gonna want to quickly find a new job so that you have income. Hey guys, so I'm here at this little market that we stumbled upon. Found this really cool booth. It's called Sour Poi Collection.
So I love thrifting. It kind of gets my shopping addiction out of the way. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll buy some tees, I'll crop the bottoms, I'll use the extra fabric and materials to like make scrunchies. I've also made coasters. These are from unused mop heads. So I sew those. Made some punny stickers. And yeah, that's about it. And I made pocket tees too with the leftover materials. So it's kind of a mix and match. Those are called pilau pockets because they kind of don't listen. Pilau is a word for like stink, but you know how sometimes you call somebody like, oh, you're such a stinker. They don't listen. They're not perfect, but
yeah,
it's fun. Yeah.
Do you design? Do you do the graphic design?
I drew all these. Yeah, I just drew it on my tablet, and then my best friend has like a Cricut machine, and so she like made stickers for me. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You should show them your shirt too.
Yes.
Here. You want me to? You got it?
I'm so sorry. I'm like
completely
fine. Making myself at home.
That's
here.
Fine.
So I just got this shirt that I love. It says break the mold, and on the back as well. I'm always gonna remember like being here, and it's so cool. Like you make stickers because I'm just gonna turn this off.
Yeah.
Some mushrooms. You get a good bite. Cooking and meal prep. If you are someone who is very picky about food, you want to know that prior to your trip, because if you're very picky about what you're going to be eating, you might want to save a little bit more money prior to your trip so that you can like buy all of the specific food items that are going to make you feel comfortable. Every farmer is different when it comes to the food or the food stipend that they provide for their volunteers. In my experience, Adam did provide us money every week for food. So that's a conversation you want to have with the farmer up front so that you know what to expect in terms of what they're going to provide for you for your food. But just to be safe, I would say to bring extra money so that you can get the food items that you know like you're really gonna want. in my case, like, I definitely like spent a lot of money on food, even though the farmer provided us money for food. Like, in Hawaii, food is just like so much more expensive. So our food stipend, in my opinion, didn't really get us as much food as we needed. But that's why it's good to bring your own money so that you can like get all of the food that you're gonna need and not feeling like you have to like eat less than you normally do or like completely change what your eating habits are. Not having the foods that you love can be a very stressful experience. Like, food is just so comforting, and there's no shame in like wanting specific food items. Like, I love certain sugary cereals, and so I just knew that I like wanted to have like certain treats to look forward to, especially being far away from home, which is already uncomfortable. You want to have like little things to look forward to that remind you of home and make you feel comfy and satisfied. So make sure that you talk to the lead farmer about what the food stipend would look like and how much money they would provide each week for food, or if they're providing money at all. Some farmers will even provide a way to the grocery store. So make sure that you get all of that information ahead of time.
How is it? On a scale of 6 to 37 and a half.
You tell me. Grab a slice.
It's me again. Coming to you live from my living room. I'm just making some final edits to this video and realized I forgot to talk about a few things that are important while camping or like living in a tent or in a cabin. So in my situation in Hawaii, we relied on small propane gas tanks to power our camping stove, to power our outdoor shower. So that's something that you definitely want to keep in mind and talk about when you're making arrangements to pick a farm. You want to know if you are going to be needing propane tanks, how is the laundry situation? Do you have washer and dryer? Are you going to need to like wash your clothes by hand? Like, we had a washer in our cabin, and then we hung our clothes on a line to dry, and like it worked out really well because it was like a covered, we were hanging our laundry in the cabin, so it wasn't outside, and in Hawaii it rains a lot, so that would not have been good. So just keep that in mind. Also keep in mind, like, food storage. Are you gonna have a fridge? Are there gonna be mice running around if you're staying in a cabin? There was so many mice running around in our cabin. I didn't have an issue with it, but if you know that like that's gonna gross you out, like, just try to keep those things in mind. And for the shower situation, you know, make sure you ask like the lead farmer, hey, like, are we gonna have heated showers? Just so that you know what to expect, because taking cold showers every day can be a little uncomfortable. So I just wanted to bring up those things. Okay, so definitely invest in a portable lantern or like some type of light that doesn't require you to plug it in. It's gonna be so helpful when it's dark and you need to take a shower, or if it's dark and you need to go to the bathroom. It's just super helpful. Get a portable light. I can link the one that I bought in the description. I'm pretty sure I got it on Amazon, but they also have like really good options at Walmart too. Get a portable light, and this next part of the video is going to be a vlog. So that's all the information, all the pieces of advice that I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informative. It It was such an incredible experience, and I want to encourage anyone out there who's interested in agriculture and you want to travel, definitely try WWOOF. It was super fun. It was challenging, but if you're willing to like be a little bit gritty and go with the flow, I think it'll be a great experience for you. So I hope you guys liked the video. I have more content coming soon, some exciting life things that are coming up. So I'm just excited to share life with y'all again. So have a great day. Thanks for watching, guys.